Welcome to, well, what looks like a really crap white room. But if I do this, welcome to Lanzarote. So I'm here doing an event. It's called Granguanche. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, to be honest with you. I'm going to find that one out to start with. But it's but basically it's a gravel event, Audax, across 5 islands. And you just ride it, get a ferry, ride it, get a ferry. So I'm kind of using it as a bit of a confidence booster and for a bit of fun, more than anything. Hopefully to sort of make me feel more in a sort of mentally good space after what happened in Morocco as well. So this little video is just going to be kind of me getting the bike ready, and then I will film something more substantial for the race as well. So yeah, now the job is just sorting this out. It's a mess right now. So I'm just heading out on a little spin before everything kicks off tomorrow. Just checking the bike feels alright. It is really windy again. Every time I seem to come to one of the Canary Islands, you seem to get battered by the wind. But yeah, bike feels good. Had a bit of a panic, trying to figure out what to pack. I've gone for a really lightweight setup to what I'd probably normally choose. Really stripped back. Mainly thinking that, you know, you get to sleep quite a bit on the ferries, and I'm planning to get hotels most of the time anyway. God, the difference of changing direction is insane. The winds are always known to be pretty strong out here. But basically, I'm just doing like a little leg loosener sort of thing today. No more than an hour, ridden out for like half an hour or so. Now riding back towards the hotel. And I'll do like a little rundown on the setup that I'm taking and using for this one. It's quite a bit different to what I've used in previous races. I'm going to film this the wrong way around on the bike, so before anyone gets arsy about it, I'll turn it around later, but there's a reason why I want to show you this side. So this is, as you all know, my very faithful Cervélo Áspero 5. We've done a lot of things together. Now the bike is set up with GRX Di2 mixed with an XTR Di2 rear mech. That's purely to allow me to get a larger cassette on the rear. It seems to work really well. So I haven't got a dynamo this time. It's purely, I would actually prefer to have a dynamo, but we just haven't managed to get one built up in time with the reserve rims. New scratch. Bike has really had some damage done to it. So anyway, instead I'm running 2 big exposure lights. Not sponsored by them in any way at all. They're just pretty good and happen to be what I've got, and they work. They're bloody expensive, but they work. And then the mount itself that I've got on here was made by 76 Projects, I think it is. Yeah, 76 Projects. I've had a lot of their stuff before. It's really good. I am a slight bit concerned that this feels there's quite a bit of movement in it, so we'll see how that goes. Using a Garmin 1040 solar. It's really bright and sunny here, so that will hopefully keep itself charged up nicely during the whole thing. I've just been out for like a little, I don't know what it was, 18k, yeah, 50 odd minutes, perfect. And then frame bags, everything you see is from Tailfin top tube bag, Tailfin frame bag. This is a Tailfin V-mount pack, which I've used on the rear basically. It's a 16 litre one. I saw Justines do this and thought it was pretty neat, so I thought I'd give it a go. Now the reason why I'm showing you this side as well is because here I have a little dyno plug, very convenient place, and here I have a pump. And the bottle cages are side load cages, and you can see 160 rotors front and rear. Reserve 32GR wheels, which is reserved really wide gravel wheel. They're actually the wheels that came with this bike originally. And I put on them a set of Schwalbe G1Rs that I had at home. They have this, like, I don't even know what you call this tread, but it's a fast tread anyway, so I've got this tread. They also say to run them a particular way on the front and rear, which is kind of cool. So I've got that on the bike on this side. Now, I'll turn it around. Loads of people ask like how tall I am, what size frame I ride, stem length, all that kind of stuff. So I am, I think, 5'11", 183 centimeters. Depends on how my back feels, to be honest with you. And I ride a 54 frame with quite a large amount of seat post and on this bike, a 120 stem. It varies on each bike what length stem I ride. It depends on how long the top tube is and what the head tube angle is, all kinds of stuff like that. Handlebars on this is Cervélo's own flared carbon handlebar. Absolutely love the shape of these, and they're super comfortable to ride on the top. This is an aluminium stem which has got all the cabling integrated into it. It goes into a D-shaped steerer tube there. And then seat post is Cervélo's carbon one. But I'm actually thinking, I have ordered an Ergon one, which I want to try out, because you may have seen I sort of said this bike is kind of semi-retiring, but it's going to be still probably used, in all honesty, for really long things like this. So I want to try out this Ergon seat post, which is basically built with like 2 leaves on it. So, but then the question is like, where do you then put the Di2 battery? So I'm thinking of basically dropping the battery down into the frame here and then running the Ergon seat post on it. So yeah, we'll see how that is. Now, as I said, reserve wheels with Schwalbe G1R tyres on it. I think it looks pretty cool. 32mm deep, super wide gravel wheel. All the bags from Tailfin. This top bag, as you see, it's a bit dirty, it's been well tested. It's from Tailfin, and then this is a frame bag, which is a slightly larger one to what I rode for Badlands. Same sort of design and idea, but just slightly longer. 2 big water bottles and side load bottle cages, which everyone asks where they're from. They're just Tax ones, they're nothing particularly fancy, but I just think they work really well. And this under mount part here, on this mount, I forgot to mention this. So this part is all from 76 projects, and then this bit that goes into the faceplate is Cervélo's own, that they designed, and allows you to mount a light on the bottom. And then the GoPro adapter is one that exposes yourself for their lights. Now, gear ratios. This is an 11:46 cassette, so slightly smaller than what I use for Badlands, but it's Shimano's own, and it's kind of what they recommend you can use with the XTR rear mech. So I wanted to use it kind of on that basis, like it should be the most efficient option available. XTR rear mech, Di2, works absolutely fine with GRX shifters, no issues at all there. And then the crank is a GRX 1x crank with a 42 chainring on the front. Probably should change it to a smaller one like I did for Badlands, but I just ran out of time, to be honest with you. Pedals, Garmin Rally pedals. This is the SPD ones. I really like them. I think they work really well. My only stipulation is that the stack height on them is really high, but that's how they allow to put all the power meter information in it. But I love the convenience of them, and you can accommodate for that in your saddle height as well. Bottom bracket is from Seabear, which is what this little green number here is at the front, and I'm running a 170 crank. So that's, I think, everything of it. This bike, that when Cervélo designed the Áspero and the Áspero 5, they always said it was like a bike for fast gravel races, but I think I've proven, along with some of my mates, that it is an absolutely amazing bikepacking bike as well. Yeah, really quite weirdly proud of this bike. It's battered, it's scarred, but I think it's done 5 ultras now, or a multitude of long distance bikepacking trips and rides, and literally travelled around the world with me. Yeah, so I don't know, this might be its swan song, this might not be, I haven't really decided yet, but we'll figure that one out at some point. I forgot to mention one thing. Batman. I've got Batman valves this time. They're from Brick Caps. The guy that does it is really, really cool. I just think they're fun. One other thing is, if I've done this right and I've somehow managed to upload this video, this has been edited on my phone. So I'm sorry if it's not that great. Definitely won't be up to Jack's standards, and probably won't even be up to my standards. But I wanted to try and get something out to you while I was doing the race. And then the thing for me that's been really important is trying to upload a video every week even when I'm away. So hopefully this is all right and it's somewhat useful. And the next video will actually be of the race, I hope. Maybe there'll be one in between. I'm not sure how much I've said about what this event is. So it is called Granguanche, I think, Granguanche. I'm not actually sure how to pronounce it, but I'll find that one out tomorrow when the race starts. Starts at 10 o'clock local time, which is the same as UK time, on Saturday the 18th. Yeah, Saturday the 18th. And the race goes across the Canary Islands. You're basically racing to make sure you get a ferry more than you probably are the other people taking part in it, which I really like, actually. There will obviously be people who are going to go out there and smash it and do it in some crazy time, probably not sleep. But for me, the goal of this one is really just to try and get some confidence back after Morocco and actually enjoy it. I have really found the last couple of weeks hard, just trying to get motivation back, get better. I've been quite unwell, and yeah, just wanted to come out here and get some sun. And as I say, I have no idea how I'm gonna go, but we'll see. We just have fun. But so anyway, first day is Lanzarote. We start basically on most of the days. You kind of start at the northern point of the island and then travel south. The first day is Lanzarote. It's 102 kilometers, 1,560 meters of climbing, mix of gravel and road. Second day is Fuerteventura, 154k, over 2,000 meters of climbing. Start in the north, head south. Then the third island is Gran Canaria, 139 kilometers, 3,460 meters of climbing. Start in the north of the island and then kind of head to the kind of northwest, I guess. And then Tenerife, which is 173k, straight up to Teide, that'll do, one of those, insert correct one here. I'm sure it's Teide, to the top of the volcano, and then basically descend the road down, which you'd have seen in some of my earlier videos while I was out there in December. That's 173 kilometers, 4,570 meters of climbing, so that's a big day. The climb up, I believe, is off-road, so that's going to be pretty exciting. And the final island is El Hierro. It's 117k, 3,770 meters of climbing. So totals we're looking at is 686 kilometers, give or take, 15,500 meters of climbing, basically. There's different. Matteo, the organizer, has written out these different strategies which you can use to try and work out how fast you want to do it. There's what's called an Audax pace, which that's the fastest way of finishing it, which basically means you'll start on Saturday, you'll ride Lanzarote through the night, get a ferry at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then do Fuerteventura, and basically you have to then get a ferry at 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, then Gran Canaria, and then basically you need to ride that through the night to get a ferry at 6 o'clock in the morning, which takes you to Tenerife. And then by this point we've just got to Monday, by the way. And then when you get to Tenerife, you have to then ride all day and aim to get a ferry at 5:30 in the evening, again afternoon evening, which takes you to Monday night where you get to the final island. And basically he's written it's people will sleep for a few hours and then they start the loop at 5 o'clock in the morning. And that means you start that on Tuesday. So that's 3 days. Now, we'll do it 4 days, is basically ride Lanzarote through the night, get a ferry at 8 or 9:30 in the morning. And then your first day is on Sunday is Fuerteventura, get an evening ferry on that one. And then Sunday night, sleep in Gran Canaria, ride Gran Canaria, get a ferry on Monday night. And then Tenerife, you ride a little bit of it, 40 odd K. And then you start really early Tuesday morning and ride the remainder with the plan to get a 5:30 ferry. And then sleep on the last day, and then you finish on Wednesday, the 4th day. And that's probably how I think I'm gonna kind of pace it, to be honest with you. I've sort of said to myself, I want to finish by the 23rd. So if I finish on Wednesday the 22nd, that's good for me. I'm really happy with that. Also my dad's birthday. I realised I didn't actually tell you what is in any of the bags. So I don't know how useful all the previous stuff has been. So basically, in here, I've got an emergency bivvy, an air mat, a pillow, a down jacket, and leg warmers. In here at the moment is basically a rain jacket and some like long-fingered gloves, but it will have probably electricals in there, basically, just power bank, cables, that kind of stuff. A bit more sort of finished this one in here. There's a rag, some tools, some earbuds, toothbrush, toothpaste, some painkillers in case it gets bad, sunscreen, and this will just be filled up with food. And then the other side, I'm basically just going to fill that up with food, probably, to be honest with you. And then the lower bag, that one, is pretty much full of tools, chain lube, tools, that kind of stuff, plus arm warmers in the top of there, quite conveniently, just a case of where I could fit them in. And then I will be carrying this hydration vest, which is water, Styrkr in there, like loads of sachets, gels, all that kind of stuff. Also, it's got a spare pair of bibs in it, because I never, having had some bad experiences, do a race with one set of bibs, always take two. So yeah, hopefully that's helpful. I'm gonna have some lunch now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the comments and support. It's hugely, hugely appreciated. I'll talk to you soon.